Hi. Last week, I promised you that we are going to discuss all this for authorization rule workflow and workflow with conditions and assignment rules. And we have finished the authorization rule, and the video is already on the YouTube or on our site ERPGulf, and you can watch it now. And if you have any doubt, any clarification required, that you can send an email to training@erpgulf.com. Now, today we will discuss workflow and workflow with conditions. This is now workflow. I mean, many of you are familiar with workflow, and mostly our students and our clients are small business owners and all, who don't have very much technical know-how. And we will do something on conditions today. What is conditions? I mean, how to do a workflow with conditions. So we will do that part also today. Let's see how it's going. Now, let's go straight into a workflow screen here. A workflow screen here. And let's see what are the concepts. There is something called states, transition rule. Why we always come to the concepts? Because without concept, going by practical example means nothing. So you will not get the concept, and you will not be, without very thorough understanding of this, it will not work for you. So I will explain what is states and what is transition rules. Let's see. Here I'll take another screen. And I will show you a standard quotation screen. It's standard, haven't done anything. It's just simple quotation. So here we can see some stages: open, draft, and cancelled. So any document, before even we are starting anything like workflow or authorization rule or anything, by default, there is a workflow is in the core of ERPNext. It's there. The only problem is it has only 3 stages. One is draft, and the other one is open, and the other one is cancelled. Most of the document, I'm not saying all documents, but general documents like quotation, purchase orders, invoices, journals, and all of this, it has 3. So we need to add something. That will be another stage. So I will show you first where you see the states. We are discussing states. That's don't confuse. This is what we are discussing now. We are discussing states of any document. That's states. Okay. So here, see, when we are making a quotation, it is what? It's not saved. It's nothing. I mean, it's not a document at all. If you go back, it's gone. If you just go back, it is gone. So we cannot call it a state. Until not saved, we cannot call it a state. We call it a state once it's saved. See it here. I'm making a quotation to a customer. Okay. Now here you need to look here. Don't look any other place. It's just a standard quotation. Look at it. I'm saving it. It's saved. See. Now what? Draft. Draft is a state of any document like quotation, purchase order, sales invoice, journal, anything. Draft is a stage. What draft means? Draft means it's just a document, a data entry operator or yourself just documented it, but it has no impact on either on accounts or an inventory or anything, there is no impact. It's just that. And once, if you go back to here on the list, you will see it as a draft. You will see it as a draft, not as an open. I'll go back to the same and make it a submit here on the button submit. And I'll just submit it. Look at what is the stage now. Look at what is the stage now. This is now open. Open means it's a submitted document. Open for any other operation, but it's a submitted document. You cannot do anything now on that because you cannot change or something. If you are submitted it, now you can say there is an open document, there is a this or all documents, don't look at it. This is our document. Now I go back to here and I just cancel it. I'm canceling a document. Just cancel. Okay. Here. Now what is the state of this? It's a cancelled document. It's a cancelled document. Cancelled. These are the three states by default any document has in ERPNext. In fact, other ERP system also. These are the three states. And here, when you come back to here on the workflow, this is workflow screen. You can see these states we can redefine. What is a possible scenario? Let's look into this quotation. On the quotation also, there are many possible scenarios, but to explain it better, I will take purchase order. A purchase order, you are sending a purchase order to your client. Okay, let's see. You want to send a purchase order to your client. What you do? Somebody, mostly you have an RFQ from your sales team that I have this much orders coming next week or something like that. But I'm not. I will come back to that. That's another session. But you prepare. Somebody prepared a purchase order. Mostly a junior data entry operator inside the purchase department, or if you are a small company, you yourself did that. A purchase order you did. Now, normally what happened, your purchase manager will approve it. Approve means he is allowed to submit. And if there is some issue or something like that, you will cancel it. So this is the normal process. But let's say before submission, you set a purchase order for an amount for, let's say, 1 million, and it need a consent, it need an approval from purchase department. Assume that scenario. So he will say, okay, before a purchase manager submit it, go to accounts manager, and ask for his approval. That is budget approval. Budget approval means the purchase team want to buy everything in the world, but the accounts team only can say that they don't have enough money to do that. So they need a budget approval. That is one thing. Maybe on your company, you have another policy like discount approval. This normally happen in the sales documents, that your salesman want to sell and add his commission and all. Because of that, he give discount more than, so some cost controller or somebody, they cannot do that. So it will go for a discount approval. And there are other things like store manager's approval, store manager approval. How? Because let's say you are a factory and you have a storage capacity. You are buying chemicals or you are something, and it need a special storage facility. So if you are issuing a PO that exceeds the storage facility, it may need a approval from a store manager. It's a complicated scenario. We will today we will discuss how to make a budget approval, how to create a budget approval. So if you learn that, you can make discount approval, you can make store approval, you can make whatever approval you want. Sometimes you need an approval from HR, because if the load is coming, somebody want to unload the thing, load the things. So you need a, I mean, there are running a company has many complications, and you may need ERP also support all of that. So now let's go to our this. Okay, what I wanted to say. These are all states. This is an approval states, like budget approval. So there can be two: budget approved, budget rejected, discount approved, discount rejected, store manager approved, store manager rejected. There are many. It can be many. I'm not saying you need to have all of it, but this, I mean, just keep in mind that we may have many steps. So I will go to here and I will try to create one workflow. This workflow, I will say PO workflow. Just take it. And the document, I will take purchase order. Purchase order. Okay. Now, if this is the purchase order, what are the states that we were discussing? One is draft state, of course, because on the draft state, you need, I mean, someone has to enter the data. That's draft state. And no need update field, that I can discuss later. This, who can do this? Anybody can do this, because it's a data entry operator's job to type it or something. Then you can create a state here. I have created the states here before, so it's like you can just create a workflow state here: budget approval, store approval, anything here. You can add it. As I have already created, I will just budget approve. I mean, it's a state. It's a state, budget approved. Okay. And there is another state, budget rejected. I mean, budget didn't approve. You didn't get an approval. Okay. Then what? Submit. If one of it happened, if budget approved happened, I'll come to the transition rules. So here it is submit, and after submit, what? Cancel. Cancel. So these are the steps that we are going to discuss. First, somebody will make a draft, somebody will type it, then a budget approval can be done by who? Budget approval can be done by an accounts manager, not by anyone else. And who can reject the budget approval? Of course, accounts manager. Okay. Who can submit it? A purchase manager. A purchase manager. Who can cancel it? Let's say anyone can cancel, but I will give that duty to purchase manager only. Not anyone can cancel it. So purchase manager will cancel it. So we have these stages. Now I will come to transition rule. What is transition rules? Transition rule is, okay, let me come back to our old quotations. This quotation, I'm not, I mean, don't confuse. I'm creating the other one for purchase order. So what are the stages that we have discussed for the quotations? So on a quotation, we have a draft stage, draft. Sorry for my bad handwriting again. Then submit. Then if required, cancel. That is very important you to understand. If it's an if required, I mean, it's not always one out of 1,000 purchase order maybe you are canceling. So this is a state. This is a state. I mean, this is a state. This is a state, and this is another state. So how the states happens? Only the states happen This is the transition rules, and this is a transition rule. What is transition rule? From one state to other state, a transition, that is called transition rule. You cannot have a transition rule from draft to cancel. See, you cannot have it. Why? Because until there's a submission, you cannot cancel it. So it will be like this. You cannot be like this. It all should always like draft to submit and submit a document to cancel. Same like that. What we are discussing now is I'll just screen. What we are discussing now, we have a draft stage, draft. Then we need to go to a purchase manager approval for budget approval. Then we will go to submit. Then if required, we will cancel it. These are the stages. So the operation will be like from draft, it go to the budget. From budget, it will go to the submit. And from submit, it will go to cancel if required. And it cannot be like from draft to submit, it cannot be. Or from draft to cancel, it cannot be. So this is so we will define it on the operation stage from where to where we have to go. Now we come back to here. So what are the stages that we are doing? Actually, there is a confusion happened. This budget approved and budget rejected. These two stages you may not need it because you only need budget approved. Because if it's not approved, it's rejected. It will show that on transition. But for the clarity of this discussion, we will keep it. In fact, you can have many stages up and down. You can define your own. This is the demonstration of how to do this. So when you are saying a transition rule, that means a transition rule has to have a state. First state, before we discussed what is the beginning state, what is the ending state, and what is the state, this one. These are the things that we need to define in this screen. And this is here. What are the beginning state here? Draft, right? So and here, what is the action? Action also, you can put any action. You can just go here, create an action, whatever action. It's like store manager approval or whatever. Action will be shown here, or on whatever you are writing there, it will be shown here. I will show you that whatever you are writing, it will be shown in the button. So here, action I am taking. What is the action there? It will show save. I mean, simple, right? On the draft, if it's saved, then what is the next stage? Budget approval. Okay. And who can do that? It can be done by accounts manager. Fine. So accounts manager can do one more thing on the same document. On the draft, no. Here, next stage, draft, he need to do, okay, draft on the budget approved. Once, oh, no, here, sorry. Once you do draft, then what should do? Save, next stage, it is budget approved. Next state, here it should be not save. Approved, budget approved. Sorry for that confusion. approve the budget. So you will do approve the budget, then it will be an approve stage. So again, on the I'll show you that on the screen. So there's some confusion if it's happened. I will just try to clarify that. Budget reject. Budget reject. Okay. And what will be that stage then? Budget rejected. Who can do that? Accounts manager again. Then again, what it will do? What is the next stage? Budget approved. Budget approved. Budget approved. No. Budget approved. If it's a stage is budget approved, what action it can do? Then it can do submit. Submit. And what is that? What after what happens? Budget approved, submit. It is a submitted document. Submitted document. Who can do that? A purchase manager. A purchase manager. Okay. What happens if it's rejected? If the stage is rejected, budget rejected. If it's budget rejected, then it can go back to stage or something like that. Amend means you can change and resubmit it. So who can do that? Next stage is draft. It should be draft next because it's going back to draft. And who can do the amend? Anyone, because it will go back to again for the approval. And if it's a submitted document, what is the next stage? Cancel. If it's required, cancel. That is what. It's not a stage that who can cancel a document? Probably purchase manager. Okay, purchase manager. So these are the things. And by the way, I forgot to tell you, there is a field here. This is very important to understand doc status. Okay, this is a very important field. On this field, we are defining what this document do in the backend. What I mean, if it's a zero status document, it has no impact on anything. It doesn't have a stock impact. It doesn't have an accounting impact, nothing. If it's budget approval also, it is zero because once it's submitted, only it will have some impact on the backend database. So once it's submitted, it will impact anything. For example, if you are doing it on a sales invoice, it will impact their credit status, their accounting status, anything. It will impact here on the order. And if it's cancelled, it should be 2. 2 means whatever impact happened, it will be reversed. So until you submit anything, the status will be 0. I mean, until it submit everything, I mean, until you get all the approvals, the status will be 0. All the approvals. And once it's doc status is 1, that means the document is final and it's impacted everyone. Impacted accounts and stock and sales and anything, whatever you are going to do with document, it will be impacted. And 2 means whatever the impact, it will be reversed. Okay. So these are the things that I want to discuss. And one more thing. Here there is a workforce state field. I'm not. This is there's a default field. You need not do normally anything on that. But if you need some details on that, some special, send us email. We can discuss. We can take another session and we can discuss. Here there is something called update field. You can update a field according to this. You mean, for example, you can create one field in the doc, the same doc type, and say what an example I can find you. Nothing comes in my mind. Let's say send a warning or something. I mean, just if you want to update a field, just update it, and nothing comes into your mind. And there is something. I'm saving it. I'm submitted, not a valid state. Was submitted. action submitted. Submitted, not a valid state. Oh, here it should be submit. Sorry. These are the states. So here we have done it on a purchase order. And there are two things here you need to, until it's active, you can have, I'll go back to here, the field. I'll go back to here. And here you can have as many workflow for a document. This is also for a document. So until you click here active, that doesn't have an impact. So I click here active. And once you are doing that, if you have in the past, you have created something, see here, it was active before, now it is not active. Something you created in the past, it will all go not active. So you can see that warning here. If checked, all other workflows become inactive. All other workflow means only the other workflows that is related to this document type, not everything, only related to this. And override status means here I'll say purchase order list. You can see many statuses here: budget approved, cancelled, and this type of thing. So if you don't want it to show there, don't override status. And here you can see it's all. I mean, all documents all will show like in the standard core method. So but normally you don't do that because you want to know what is the status of every document. So you can see it here. Now you will see here a multiple type of documents now, and send an email alert. This is one thing that you need to know, because if a state here somebody doing, if let's say a data entry operator created one and submitted for budget approval to accounts manager, he generally don't look at the purchase orders. Accounts manager has so many things to do. Okay, so he need to get an email alert saying that there is something submitted for your approval. Email alert or SMS alert or WhatsApp alert or whatever alert you need to give it to him. And once he is done that, then once account manager done that, it should go to the purchase manager. He also don't come and look at every time this. So what is there on the stage? So he also need to get an email. So what you need to do here, there is something called an action email. So you need to create, you know how to create an email template, right? Let's say I'll create, I'll just put it like, okay, something like this. You put a better English and put a approve the PO submitted on. You can put date and everything and the number and all of this. I'm not doing any of this. This is if you want to learn it. We have another session for this, how to create an email template. How to create it. This is, we have another one. Another video I'll send. You can search our past videos. You can see that. And the purchase order. Here also on the all stages you will do that. Here you have next action email template. You put an email template and it will automatically send. Once he's pressing that button, it will send an automatic email to that the next person that he needs to do. So here let us now start an action. Let's try to create a purchase order now. Okay, this user is actually an administrator. He can do anything. I'm not going to open other sessions and try to prove my point, so I'll just do it everything here. But if you have, I mean, we have explained in several videos how to manage user account, user permissions, everything. So I'm not doing that now. Look at that. What are the stages here? It's not saved. And what is the button here? Save. Okay. I'm just saving it, this purchase order. Okay. Now, what is this? Now, the state is draft. Let's go back to here. What is the state? What are the states that we were looking? Draft, budget approved, budget rejected, submitted, cancelled. Okay, these are the states. What are the actions? Actions are budget approve, budget reject, submit, amend, cancel. So let's look at here. Here, action. What are the actions now? Because once you are on a draft stage, this is the state. Once you are on a draft stage, what are the actions it shows? Budget approve and budget reject. So now an email gone to accounts manager, and accounts manager opened the screen, because there is a link for this also. You can put a link for this purchase order to accounts manager, and the account manager look into that. Then you go to action. The account manager will go to action, not you. So what he will do, either approve or reject it. Let's assume here approve it. Okay, he approved it. Now you look at the states now. Here, it's the state is budget approved. You go back to here. What are the states? Budget approved, budget rejected. No, sorry. Budget approved, budget rejected, submitted, cancelled. Okay. Now it is budget approved. It's budget approved. Now, what are the next stages? Okay, once budget approved, what happens? Once budget approved, it will go to submit, and purchase manager will submit. It will, the approval message will be gone to purchase manager, and the purchase manager will look into this. Purchase manager will look into this, and what he will do? What is this action pending? What he can do? Submit. This submit, actually we have defined it here. You can see it here, submit. So he just submitted. What is the next state? It's a submitted state. And what are the action he can do now? This is the action. He can cancel it. Okay. So you go back to here, see the state. See the state, it's submitted. Okay. And what a submitted can be done? Cancel. So here you go there and cancel. And what a cancel document can do here, it can, you can get it amended. So we have put it here, a cancel document, a rejected document, cancel document, amend. Okay. I mean, there is some confusion there, but I'm here, then a cancel document, save, and then submit. These are the stages. I'm not going into the details. I mean, because we have a session time, and this time is going to end. I want to come to that condition based. These are the things. Email go on, and you get multiple stages and all of this. So now this is something I think it's clear. If there is, you need a better clarity on certain things, just contact us. We can have a separate one-to-one session, and we will try to clarify. Before that, you go to the instance and try to do all of these combinations. And after that, you will have a very clear clarity on that. Then after that, we can discuss. So, for if you don't have an instance, send us email. We can give you an instance so you can try yourself. Now, there is something that you might have noted here. When I say budget approval, I'll just take it. We discussed about the budget approval or a commission approval or something. If somebody making a purchase order, a PO, and ask in the draft stage, we said it is going to an accounts manager, accounts manager, and it is going to, then it's going to a purchase manager for submission. Okay. Sometimes what we need, because this account manager, you want to buy some very small value things. For example, some office stationery, something like a pin or a couple of pens or something like that. Then you don't, accounts manager need not involve in that. So he will just say, this a $2 purchase or $2 purchase. Why you are asking me to approve it? So you will put something like, say, you will only, if it's more than 1,000 real or dollar, rupees or whatever, if it's more than 1,000, then only you need to send it here. Otherwise, don't send it to account people. You just submit it. Even you don't send it to purchase, you can just submit it. But let's assume if you are making it, this is less than 1,000, a purchase order of less than 1,000, bypass it and send it directly to the purchase manager. Assume it's a case scenario. There are other case scenarios. This is just one case scenario. There is other case scenario. Let's say you want to, a quotation, a salesman sending a quotation with discount percentage more than 10%, less than 10%, let's say, it need not have an approval from cost center. So they can just send it directly to customers. Or if you are buying some small items like 2 packets cement, you don't need to get an approval from a store manager, because store is a big store. 2 packet cement will not make any difference. So you will just send it. There are many cases like that. When you are dealing with a company implementation, you will see a lot of case scenarios like that. This is, until now, we haven't seen an option for that. So now it's a time that we are looking that option, because if you are seriously into a workflow implementation, you need that. Your clients, your users will definitely ask that. So without knowing how to do that, you cannot succeed in this. So what I will tell you now, these transition rules, when you are doing transition rules, let me come back to here. Here there is something called conditions, this field. It's a very, very important field, conditions. This you need to learn. Normally, most of our training, you are sitting to watch this training, are accountants or small business owners or somebody. So you don't know. This is actually a Python code. Okay. So it's no, I mean, I'm not saying that you all guys don't. It's Python. Okay, it's a Python language code. I'm not saying that you don't know it, because nowadays Python is even there in the high school or even in the primary school. Yes. So I'm not saying that you don't know, but maybe you are not familiar, or you are afraid to do this Python coding on your conditions. So I'll just explain that. If you are a programmer, maybe you can just skip this session, because it's a no big deal thing for you. Okay. So we are taking this case that if there is a purchase order, the total value is less than 1,000. Bypass what? Bypass this transition rule, budget approval. No need budget approval. If less than 1,000, you don't need a budget approval. You don't need a budget reject. These 2 stages, you don't need it. You just keep it. you just directly go to the next stage, submitted stage or whatever. Or you can go to the next stage. So how you do that? Okay, here, if you go to any purchase order, it's a purchase order, right? You can see here total amount. So we will look what is that total amount field. If you need to see the field, I mean, actually, these are all just labels. These are I'm talking to accountants, not to programmers. So just again, so this is basic stuff. These are labels. This is not the actual field. You need to know what is the actual field that has a total amount. To do that, you go here. Can you see that? Yeah. Customize. It's not for customizing, just to find the field. I'm saying this. It's a trick. I mean, normally. So here you can see it here. Let me see, where is it? Because it's long document. Total. Here there is something called grand total. In total amount, it's in currency. You check the corresponding words there. Rounded total, discount, everything you will see here. You can see it, terms and conditions, discount, and everything. So I will take only one field, grand total, and I'll just cut it here. Okay, I'll just keep it. This is, you can see all the field here. You can take any conditions from here. For example, one example I can tell you that you need approval for some special customers. Let's say some customers, the account manager is very angry with them because they don't pay on time, or some suppliers, the purchase manager really angry about that they don't deliver on time. So you want to go that particular type of suppliers for a special approval, something like credit controller approval. Okay, so in that case you need to know who is the supplier. So you take the supplier field from here. Supplier field, it will be here. Where supplier? I'm sorry, I'm dragging a little bit, but there is a supplier name field here. Supplier short code is there, anything. So you can take that also. But today our example is a total amount that's exceeding 1,000. Only need to have that. If it's less than 1,000, you don't need an approval, right? So I'll just take it. So here, what you need to do, you can see an example here. Budget approved. I take it. So the sorry, that's that state here on the transition rule. I will just cut it. I just don't need to show this for a budget approval. So here, what I will do here, I'll just go paste it here. Grand total. Grand total is the field name, and ideally I should be what I should write here. If grand total less than, no, greater than 1,000, it's a simple English I'm writing, not a programming language. If grand total greater than 1,000, only show this is this I want to write it here. Otherwise, this is the program. So I'll just put it in a Python code. You can see the detail here. So what you need to do, you paste that field name here. Put a dog here. Why I need to put a dog? You need to learn a lot of things, but I don't want to go all over there. And then say greater than 1,000. This is the only thing you need. Why? What is that? Okay. Just put it here. I'll come back to here. Once I show this, I will come back to here and I will explain a little bit more why you are doing this. So this is the thing. You just do it here like that. What is the condition? Then only it will show here. I'll just put in here. Okay. Now I'm just making a purchase order again. I'm just putting a purchase order here. The operation is not proper, but I'm just explaining. I mean, that flow is not proper, but I'm just explaining this programming details. I'm just saving it. Once it's saved, what is it? Budget approve. What is the amount? I missed something. Saved it, right? Sorry for that. Budget approve. Where is that budget approve? Budget reject. Where did I save that? It should I budget approve button. I guess I dot greater than 0. I don't know. I just maybe I didn't save it here. Is there? Yeah, it's there. Okay. I don't know why I missed back. So just here action. What is happening? Wait a second. Draft PO workflow. I saved and this is more than oh, I put greater than 0. Seriously, that was a mistake. Okay, now see why I put what was my mistake. You all got that right. So here instead of 1000 I put 0. That means anything more than 0. In fact, all of it will be more than 0. So it is just like that. So now I put, look at here, grand total greater than 1000. If it's grand total greater than 1000, then only this will show. Budget approve will show. I didn't put that on the budget rejected because it's just, I can put it here. So that also will not appear there. That also will not appear there. Let's say here, see, budget rejected. Just refresh it. Is it approved or I don't know. Budget rejected. Putting it on wrong place. Okay, now let's see. That also will not come here. What happened to other thing? Budget reject submitted. Now it should show. But whatever. I'm this just I want to show this one. So if it's budget rejected, it should go to something different from the draft because I didn't put that flow correctly because I was just concentrating on this. So I will just put one thing here. So what will be that submitted? That, I mean, the reason for that is something has to show that, right? If both of these are not there. There will be budget reject. What is budget reject? Okay, let's work on that. The submit, there will be submit button, budget reject. So here, let's look into this. Some mess up happen. Actually, when you are making a transition rule, you need to think about which step it's going, which step is not going. So I'm not going to that, but the concept is, I guess, it's clear. And if I'm going to make transition rule in a systematic way, it will take some time. So I'm not doing that. So here I just want to show how it is. Now the budget approved is not coming for a new quotation. I'll show no new purchase order, because we put it, if it's more than 1,000 only, then it should come, right? So I put it here. Now it's less than, I mean, it's only 30. So budget approved, it will not be there. Budget reject is there. Forget it, because it should not be there actually. Yes, but I didn't put that rule on the budget reject because there is a flow issue. So here you see now it's a 30. So if it's 30, it will not show. Budget approval will not show. Now I'm making it like 1,000. So the total amount is 1,000. Really, that will make another confusion for it. I put it 20,000. Okay. Who cares? So I put it 20,000. Then you can see it here. You need a budget approval. If it's 20,000, you need a budget approval. Why I say this 1,000? If you put 1,000, because there is something called operator. If you, as you are not a Python programmer, I'll just tell you how it is. If it's exactly 1,000. What we put here, the rule is it's greater than 1,000. So we need something. There are operators, because we put greater than or equal to, less than or equal to. You can just go to Google and see Python operators. I mean, internet is full of Python language training, so you don't need me to do that. But if you want any comparisons like equal to, these are the operators. So you can put these operators here, like if you need like doc.commission, it's not actually not commission. It's the field name, you have to test it there, look at there, put it here, then less than or equal to, you check the operators here, less than or equal to, greater than or equal to, and put it here. Okay, less than or equal to, greater than or equal to 10. So let's say if you want a condition, that is, if the amount is greater than 1,000 and sales commission is less than 100, you display this. Otherwise, don't display this. Okay, so you put it like this. And there is something called and, or, and, etc. So this is also, if you are not a programmer, and means this both conditions should match, and or means one of this condition has to match. One of this condition, let's say, if it's more than 1,000, and then or if it's more than 1,000, or the commission is less than 10, then you need this approval. I mean, that kind of complications, you will get that. So it's, even though they are saying it's a Python code, it's not much of Python, it's just that. And you can get other fields here. If you don't understand what is the other fields here, you can ask me directly, send me personal message, so I will explain you that. This is, you mean how you contact me. You can contact me at training@erpgulf.com. Okay, so you can get some value, session details, date and time. So why you need date and time? Let's say if something posted 5 days before, and you then it need not have an approval. Or let's say if the purchase order is, the delivery time mentioned is above 30 days, then you don't need this store manager approval. Why? Because store will be free at that time. Let's assume. So that type of condition will come. So you need to get what is the current date type on this program. So you need to put here date and how many models. It's an example is shown there, because this example is actually showing the creation of this purchase order. If it is more than 5 days or less than 5 days or something like that, then you do it. I mean, then display it, otherwise don't display it. So there are something here. All of this may be useful for, but generally what you need, just one condition. Most of the, because most of our implementation, we always use just one condition, that is grand total is greater than 1,000 or less than 1,000, or the commission is less than 100, and then only it will go for the approval. I think apart from messing some flaws and everything, this video is clear. But if it's not, just let me know. I will try to clarify things related to that. Okay, sorry for some confusion happened in between. I wanted to make it flawless, but sometimes it don't happen like that. So write to me at training@erpgulf.com. Any issue with that, we can even give you one instance to train and test it yourself for free, in fact. And you can just train yourself on the workflow. And if you have an issue, just link me and subscribe our channel and share the video, because we are not monitoring the video and all, but more people can watch it, and send us your feedback and response. Thank you, appreciate you all joining us. Thank you.